Fantastic. That's exactly right. Holly coming in, and then obviously getting a big out for us right there, and then having to sit. That's not an easy. It's not an easy ask. When he's also kind of got his mind to be ready, whether it's late in the game, he comes in a little earlier, and then he's sitting around while we're deciding what the weather's going to do. And stayed sharp, came back in making good pitches. Barlow just continues to impress with how he's able to make big pitches in big situations. He just, every time out, it seems to be taking even steps further. And then Rosie, I don't know what more you could ask of what he just did. So the bullpen was fantastic. Josh, didn't want to see him have to come out of the game right there. A little bit of a tight back that we'll be taking a look at. But really, really happy with what the pen did today.
Did Josh, the back tighten up after he slipped a little bit on the? Yeah,
that's what happened. It's kind of that high glute, low back thing that just kind of tweaked and went out, and he said it was fine. But then you could see that he wasn't quite finishing his pitches. He was, I don't know if he's favoring it or fear of triggering it. And so at that point, it just wasn't worth it.
Got some timely hits too, huh?
We did, yeah. Watching Nick Heath come through after we get the guy over. Great job by Nicky Lopez. By the way, Nicky Lopez was all over the field today. That's a winning style player playing a winning style game, taking charge in the infield, moving guys around, communicating, making plays all over the place, and getting the guy over. Then he comes through later and gets a big knock, not trying to do too much. I mean, that's exactly the kind of player we want to see Nicky be day in and day out. And then, we need McBroom to come through there and get the ball to carry a little bit more. Witt almost did it twice, right? I mean, that ball down the line probably could have gone either way. And fantastic play up against the fence that borderline bounces off the wall, goes out of the ballpark. So guys just kept coming, and then the defense did their thing.
Why'd you mute him? Because he was making noise. But anybody else? Come on.
Yeah, Mike, I know you've talked about McBroom and how you knew there was still power there, even though he didn't necessarily show it at the end of last season. I know you said that throughout the offseason. What did you see that sort of gave you that confidence? Because obviously it came through big tonight with that swing he had.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of following some of his history. And I told you guys the story. I watched him in AAA before we got him, and the ball was jumping off this guy's bat to the point where you couldn't ignore the player and how the ball came off his bat. It looked different, sounded different, carried different. So you knew that was in there. And then when we got him, he did a great job. Somebody told him that he had to do a better job of just putting the ball in play. He shortened up, and he wanted to take his swing and miss down. And statistically, he figured out how to do that, which isn't, we talked about this last night. That's not necessarily something that's easy to learn, but he figured out how to do it. He thought that would benefit his career. But I think that it's an and proposition to where two strikes, he's kind of learned how to fight through. But up until that point, don't be afraid to do damage, because you've got that gift of being able to let the ball carry with some loft. And today was just a great example of kind of the natural power that he has.
Mike, I know you want to enjoy every single win, but to get another after last night's kind of outpouring, just how nice is that for this club? Yeah, I mean, that's more of those style of win right there that we've had right at the doorstep how many times, right, where we're right there in that game. It seems like we've been chasing a one-run deficit for the most part. But then we have one to kind of hand over to that pin that we've been so impressed with. A lot of times when we are either tied or down, they're keeping us in games, giving us a chance. But to use that same group and really high leverage situations and watch them come through and save something like that for us, I think it just it encourages our guys of, let's get them a lead, hand it over, and watch them do their thing. We've got some great weapons down there that can help us get to where we want to be. Let's figure out a way to scratch a run across.